Excellencies, distinguished panelists and guests, dear colleagues, on behalf of the UNFPA UNICEF joint program to eliminate female genital mutilation, I thank Burkina Faso, His Excellency President Roch Marc Christian Kabore, and the African Group for their leadership and vision in introducing Resolution 44/16 on the elimination of female genital mutilation. The resolution addresses FGM as a human rights violation and a form of gender-based violence. Indeed, this harmful practice has denied an estimated 200 million girls and women alive today their right to bodily autonomy and the full enjoyment of their sexual and reproductive health and rights. The current estimate of 3.9 million girls mutilated each year could rise to 4.6 million by 2030 if current efforts are not accelerated. We do see progress, albeit uneven. There is evidence of an overall decline in FGM prevalence in Africa. This is particularly visible in Burkina Faso, Egypt, Ethiopia, Kenya, Liberia, Tanzania, and Togo. Despite progress, however, the absolute number of girls at risk continues to climb with population growth. Moreover, as the COVID-19 pandemic shutters schools and disrupts programs, 2 million additional cases of female genital mutilation may occur over the next decade. Far from dampening our ambition, however, the pandemic has sharpened our resolve. In 2020, more than 430,000 women and girls received health services, and tens of thousands accessed social and legal services thanks to the joint program. The program also worked to ensure that FGM prevention and protection services were integrated into the COVID-19 pandemic response plans. Female genital mutilation is grounded in a multiplicity of social, cultural, and economic factors, intersectional discrimination, and negative gender stereotypes. Addressing this complex web of issues requires that political will be translated into a multi-sectoral response. That brings the whole of government and society together. It also requires strengthening accountability systems at all levels. And we see investments in these areas paying off. As of 2020, 14 of the countries covered by the UNFPA UNICEF joint program have adopted legislation criminalizing the practice of FGM, including most recently Sudan. These laws have resulted in numerous arrests and convictions and act as a powerful deterrent. Yet ending this deeply rooted practice requires far more than just law enforcement on its own. What it demands is a concerted effort to mobilize stakeholders in education, in health, social protection, justice, public information, development planning, finance, gender equality, young people themselves, and other sectors. UNFPA has brought this message to leaders at the highest level, and cross-sectoral coordination has improved. We see multi-sectoral national plans with dedicated budget lines to address FGM and legally mandated coordination mechanisms like Kenya's Anti-FGM Board. The joint program also engages traditional and community leaders, religious authorities, parents, and others in positions of authority. During my recent mission to Sudan, I met one such leader known in her community as Mama Iqbal, who told me, "When we hear that a family intends to cut their daughters, we pack up our coffee cups and go talk to them." This is the type of dialogue it will take to end FGM. more Mama Iqbals and other allies, including men and boys, working together in community after community. Parliamentarians, national human rights institutions, civil society watchdogs, women and youth activists and human rights defenders all need to be empowered to monitor and advance efforts to drive effective change. This is something we can change, and the strengthening of social actors as change agents is a fundamental priority for us at UNFPA. Following the adoption of the Human Rights Council resolution, the Joint Program produced a policy brief on strengthening the enabling environment. UNFPA launched a primer for conducting public inquiries by national human rights institutions to eliminate FGM. Meaningful civic engagement also depends upon transparency, transparent access to public information. Initiatives such as You Report in Uganda have equipped tens of thousands of women, young people, and activists with relevant real-time information via mobile technology. We are pleased to see that Resolution 44/16 is already inspiring regional organizations and individual member states to take a comprehensive approach to accountability. Particularly relevant is the accountability framework on harmful practices developed by the African Union Commission on Social Development, which aims to spur political action, transparency, and responsibility, including mutual accountability and its synergies with the European Union-funded Spotlight initiative. Let us build on the resolution's vision and guidance to strengthen collective action to achieve Sustainable Development Goal Target 5.3 and end female genital mutilation and all harmful practices. It's time to match political will with structures that can mobilize all actors, especially women and girls at risk and survivors, as drivers of social change. Thank you.